I don't know if some of you news anchors are descendants from um, the person that was in the head of a lynch mob with the torch burning, that people were easily influenced. But when you do put your personalities before principles and leave it at that, people get lynched that were innocent. People get blamed for a crime that they had nothing to do with. And it's even, I'll mention that I don't know, over the years, heard y'all say several years. I've been here 7 years. I know y'all say several when a person go one time somewhere and he's locked up, because it makes it seem like he's a pest and he goes back and forth and he's been there a lot of times. But when you say several times, he might have only been there once. But you seem to be now, and I don't really blame you all the way. I blame your TV station for letting you have such free reign to put your personalities before principles in a story. But at the same time, you guys act like you're untouchable until you're confronted face to face. Just like even when I went to Sanderson Ford, I've been talking about you guys and Sanderson Ford, and I've been talking about Channel 15, not telling a honest story and distorting the truth. But I look at last night when I seen I don't know her name, but she seems to be a nice lady, and she wasn't the one bragging white rights on the weather, talking about Chicago. It was your ass. And so when I came through the door, I had two birds to kill with one stone. Sanderson Ford, when I told y'all, and you hear it over and over and over, and I don't give a shit how much you hear it, because I'm gonna tell it until someone says, it must be true, because I know y'all do that with a lie. And I was telling you how I called down there trying to win those 3-4 focuses. I just talked to the head man under Sanderson, supposedly, and I told him that story. And I told him how the secretary told me that I wouldn't win unless I was born here. And I asked to speak to the supervisor. I didn't hear from her for 4 years. I told him how Sanderson Ford made the commercial the next day. And I told him, and studied the 3 veterans winning the 3 worthy Ford focuses. They gave him $500 gift certificates instead. He said, I just can't see that. It sounds strange to me. Not that the secretary told me I had to be born here. Not that Sanderson Ford made the commercial the next day. It was that they changed their mind and gave the veterans $500 gift certificate. Now, all this is on TV. He didn't have a problem with none of the other stuff, but he had a problem with, at the end, they gave the veterans $500 gift certificates instead of the cars. I said the reason why he did that is to sweep the whole thing under the rug. It is really amazing. He didn't have a problem with any of the stuff that sounded more outrageous than not giving them the cars, just giving them the gift certificates. But I know what happened. Sanderson Ford said, fuck this. Just give them gift certificates and put the cars back. I don't want a paper trail. That's what happened. And for him to say, he seems strange. He's been knowing him for a long time, and it seems strange that he would give these 3 veterans $500 gift certificates instead of the car. That's the only thing he had a problem with, which shows you it was some bullshit. And another thing, I went over to Channel 15, and I seen the little weather girl. I said, hey, can I talk to you for a minute? She looked up like she was scared, and she said, she'll talk to you. And she said that she had to go to commercial. Maybe she did, but I sit there with Garth Brooks and Beanbag Boy. They looking at me with a dirty look. I guess they think they Garth Brooks and whoever. He's shaking his head and stuff, getting into a groove that I can't even hear no kind of way with the damn shaking thing. And the other one playing the guitar, he think he Garth Brooks. And it was so funny that I don't want to laugh while they was filming. Cause I mean they all into it. He's shaking his head. I wish I could have just taped it. It it was funny as hell. But anyway, she looked up and she was kind of startled, and she said the other girl talked to me. When I started talking to the girl with the little laptop that tells her maybe her makeup artist or whatever she does, I said, look, all I want you to do is take my email, look at this video I made saying a lot of negative stuff about Channel 15. She stood up there for the longest asking me how to get to transfer this information to her computer, and she worked for Channel 15, and I wouldn't leave until she came up and put my video of how we feel about Four Seasons on her laptop, and that's when I left and I started talking to Sanderson Ford, and I talked to him for a while. By the time I was waiting for the top manager to come out, we talking about buying another Mustang. I said, well, shit, if I trade this 2018 in for 2020, how much do I have to bring down for down payment? They talking about $2,000. So I guess three birds with one stone, but I had no intention on going there and buy a car, just like I didn't at Camelback Ford. But anyway, so you're not that tough. Even with and like I told you, every cameraman is 6'7", big, and don't play. And when I got down there, it was a big cameraman, but he was real nice. It was the other Garth Brooks and whoever the fuck he was. They seemed like they had a nasty attitude or looked like I wasn't supposed to be by her or asked her nothing. It's fucking two little faggots, sissy. But whatever. I shouldn't even said that. So you're not tough, and you're not protected from everything you say. You have to be held accountable. But it was very easy for you to blame the Mexican people for something that you should be blaming yourself. So I have to think that you're a descendant from those people that was in the head of a lynch mob, and they lynched the wrong people sometime, and they walked away and went back to the barn and back to the saloons and wherever they went. After all, you seem to not progress that far from the old West, if you want to ask me, with the rules and the ways and the ideologies that you have. But for your news station to let you get away with that, they're just as much a problem and a blame as you when they let you spew out things with your personalities and before principles. And a lot of people have went to jail that was innocent up here. And that's why I have never heard y'all recap on the story and say that y'all were wrong or y'all sorry, ever. Man is not, and woman is not perfect. They're going to make some mistakes, but are y'all man or woman enough to admit them? No. And for you to sit up there and tell me, look at what these cartel people, why didn't you just say, look at what these Mexicans are doing to our white kids? That's what you should have said. I would have had more respect for you then. But and for the news station to let you get away with that, man. And they know that the cartel can come over and sue you for slander. But eventually somebody, y'all finna get sued one way or the other, because y'all gonna pick on the wrong person like me and say something that I did and I didn't do or something, and I'm gonna go home and get one of the lawyers that I used to know for Doliac lawyers and come up here and light y'all ass up. Because I ain't no Rudy Poot at all. And he would come up here, one of the Vidoliak lawyers in that office, come up here and light y'all lawyers' ass up. And that's what's going to happen. Because y'all got free reign of that bullshit, trying to blame them. And what about all the stories that you did on the kids that was drowning? Not one story you asked, were the parents on drugs when the kid drowned? Not one. What about that? You didn't put no personality before principles in those stories. What about that? How is that possible? How is it possible for 14 or 15 kids to drown, no parents go to jail, no questions asked about drug addiction, no other kids tucking out by DCL? How is that possible? That's amazing. And you worry about your kids and the drug dealers making our kids go over there and smuggle drugs. It's probably for the parents that let the kids drown from being on opiates in the first place. Thank you.